finding her way forward. My husband, Mill, left me behind on the way to a fancy resort and ordering me to go home and clean. Anna woke up early that morning, her heart fluttering with a mix of excitement and anxiety. Today was the day of the much-anticipated trip to a luxurious resort, a celebration for her mother-in-law, Evelyn's birthday. She had meticulously planned everything, hoping this getaway would be an opportunity to finally bond with Evelyn, who had never been easy to please. Evelyn, a woman of imposing stature and icy demeanor, had always been critical of Anna. Nothing Anna did seemed to be good enough. She could never cook the eggs to Evelyn's liking or brew coffee to the right strength. Mark, her husband, often remained neutral, caught between his mother and his wife, hoping to avoid conflict by staying silent. As Anna busied herself in the kitchen, preparing a hearty breakfast, she couldn't shake off the feeling of nervous anticipation. The aroma of freshly brewed coffee and sizzling bacon filled the air, but it did little to calm her nerves. She wanted everything to be perfect today. Mark entered the kitchen, giving Anna a brief smile. "Ready for the trip?" he asked, though his eyes were distant. "Almost," Anna replied, trying to sound cheerful. "I just want to make sure everything is in order before we leave." Evelyn entered the room, her presence instantly making the air feel colder. She glanced around, her eyes landing on the breakfast spread. "I hope the eggs aren't overcooked this time," she remarked, sitting down with a regal air. Anna bit her tongue, offering a strained smile. "I made them just the way you like, Evelyn." The drive to the resort started off uneventfully. Anna sat in the back seat, gazing out the window at the passing scenery. She imagined the beautiful resort, the lush gardens, the luxurious spa, and the serene poolside. She hoped this trip would be a turning point in her relationship with Evelyn. Halfway to their destination, Evelyn suddenly demanded that Mark pull over at a small, run-down gas station. Confused, Anna watched as her husband obeyed without question. Evelyn turned to Anna, her eyes cold and calculating. "You forgot to clean the house before we left," she said, her voice dripping with disdain. "How do you expect us to return to a pigsty? Go home and take care of it." Anna's heart sank. She looked at Mark, hoping for some support. "But the trip?" she stammered. Mark avoided her gaze, his silence confirming his complicity. "Go home, Anna," Evelyn ordered, her tone leaving no room for argument. Humiliated and defeated, Anna stepped out of the car. She stood there, watching as they drove away, a mix of anger and sadness welling up inside her. The car disappeared down the road, leaving a cloud of dust and a trail of broken dreams behind. The walk back home was long and lonely. Anna's mind raced with thoughts and emotions. She had done everything she could to be a good wife and daughter-in-law, but it was never enough. By the time she reached their house, she was exhausted, both physically and emotionally. Inside, the house was exactly as she had left it, spotless. The accusation of her not cleaning had been just another way for Evelyn to exert control. Anna sat down at the kitchen table, her mind racing. She realized that she had been bending over backward to please people who didn't appreciate her. As the sun set, casting a golden hue over the living room, Anna made a decision. She would no longer allow herself to be treated this way. She deserved respect and happiness, and if her husband and mother-in-law couldn't see that, then she would have to make some changes. The next morning, Anna woke up with a sense of determination. She started by calling her old friend, Lisa, whom she hadn't seen in years. They made plans to meet for lunch, and for the first time in a long while, Anna felt excited about something. She also signed up for a painting class, reigniting a passion she had set aside after marriage. Over the next few weeks, Anna's life began to change. She spent less time trying to please Evelyn and more time focusing on herself. She reconnected with friends, pursued hobbies she loved, and even started considering a return to her career. The more she focused on herself, the more she realized how much she had been neglecting her own needs. Mark noticed the changes in his wife and began to feel a sense of unease. He had always relied on Anna to keep the peace, to smooth things over with his mother, and to manage the household. Now, Anna seemed distant, more independent, and less concerned with his and Evelyn's opinions. One evening, after returning from a particularly enjoyable painting class, Anna found Mark waiting for her in the living room. He looked nervous, shifting uncomfortably in his seat. "Anna, we need to talk," he began, his voice unsure. She sat down across from him, her expression calm and resolute. "Yes, we do." Mark hesitated, searching for the right words. "You've been different lately, distant. Is something wrong?" Anna took a deep breath, gathering her thoughts. "Mark, I've spent years trying to please you and your mother, but no matter what I do, it's never enough. I've realized that I need to start living for myself, to find my own happiness." He looked taken aback. "But what about us? Our marriage?" "I still care about you, Mark. But I need you to understand that I can't keep living like this. I deserve respect and support. If you can't give me that, then we need to re-evaluate our relationship." Mark was silent, processing her words. He realized how much he had taken Anna for granted, how he had allowed his mother to dictate their lives. "I'm sorry, Anna. I never wanted to hurt you. I guess I didn't know how to stand up to my mother." Anna nodded, appreciating his honesty. "It's not just about standing up to her, Mark. It's about respecting me, valuing me as your partner. I need to know that we're in this together." As the days turned into weeks, Mark made a conscious effort to change. He started standing up to Evelyn, supporting Anna in her pursuits, and working on their marriage. It wasn't easy, and there were many difficult conversations, but slowly they began to rebuild their relationship on a foundation of mutual respect and understanding. Evelyn, however, remained as cold and critical as ever. But Anna no longer sought her approval. She had finally understood that her worth was not determined by her mother-in-law's opinion. She deserved happiness, and she was ready to fight for it. In the end, it wasn't the trip to the resort that changed Anna's life. It was being left behind that made her realize her own strength. And as she moved forward, she did so with the confidence that she was enough, just as she was. Anna's journey was not just about finding happiness. It was about reclaiming her identity and discovering the strength she had within her all along. She had been left behind, but she had emerged stronger, wiser, and more determined to live life on her own terms. Epilogue. A year had passed since that fateful day at the gas station. Anna stood in her art studio, surrounded by her paintings, feeling a sense of pride and accomplishment. Her work had been featured in a local gallery, and she was preparing for her first solo exhibition. Mark entered the studio, carrying a bouquet of flowers. "These are for you," he said, handing them to her with a smile. "Congratulations on the exhibition." Anna took the flowers, her eyes shining with gratitude. "Thank you, Mark. It means a lot to me." They had come a long way, their marriage now a partnership built on respect and love. Evelyn's influence had waned, and while she still made her presence known, Anna no longer allowed her to dictate her life. As Anna and Mark stood together, looking at the paintings that represented her journey, they knew that their relationship had been tested and had emerged stronger. Anna had found her voice, her strength, and her happiness. And in doing so, she had also found a way to rebuild her marriage and create a future filled with hope and possibility. The journey had been difficult, but it had led Anna to a place of self-discovery and empowerment. She was no longer the woman who was left behind. She was a woman who had found her way forward, and nothing could hold her back. Anna has always strived to be the perfect wife and daughter-in-law, but her efforts are never enough for her cold and demanding mother-in-law, Evelyn. When Evelyn orders Anna to return home and clean instead of joining a family trip to a luxurious resort, Anna realizes she's been taken for granted. Left behind and humiliated, she begins a journey of self-discovery and empowerment. As Anna reconnects with her passions and reclaims her identity, she challenges the dynamics of her marriage and her relationship with Evelyn. Through courage and determination, Anna finds her way forward, emerging stronger and more confident, ready to live life on her own terms.